So we're up to the final daf in Baba Basra, Kuf Ayin Vav Amid Beis. Kuf Ayin Amid Beis, we're about 5 lines down of an Aleph. Kuf Ayin Vav Amid Aleph, about 5 lines down. Boy Mine Rabba Bar Nasan Reb Yochanan. So the Mishnah had said that if a person has a ksav yad, he has written in his own handwriting, even though there's no edim on it, he be chayiv, the person that the IOU is made out to would be able to collect from the Chasim B'nai Chayrin, not from Mishubadim. There's no Eidim, there's no Shtar officially, but there's an IOU. So the Shiloh is now, can you go ahead some way, somehow, enhance that IOU that it should be like what? Like a Shtar, and you'll be able to collect from the Chasim Mishubadim. That's the Shiloh at hand. So it says the Gemara, Boy Minei Rabba Bar of Nasim Rebbe Yochanan. Huchsak Ksav Yodai Bebezdin. Bezdin authenticates the ksav yad of the loiva. What's the din? Can you collect from the chasim mishubadim or can't you? So Alpha Pisha hooks ksav yad bezdin. Amalei. So Rabbi Yochanan told Rabbi Nasin Alpha Pisha hooks ksav yad bezdin. Ain't a guy ve'elmen chasim b'nei chayrin. Even though what the ksav yad was established in bezdin, was authenticated, you still can only collect from the chasim b'nei chayrin. It doesn't elevate it to the level of being a milva b'shtar, which you will be able to collect from mishubadim. Masav Rabbi Bar Chama Shloisha getting pesulim. There are 3 getting that are puzzled the rabbanon. They are surely nase, and therefore it's asa to marry. Then nisas, but the if you do get married, have vlad kasha. The vlad is kasha. We've had this recently. Ve'eluhein kasav b'ksav yadoi. If the get is written by the baal, ve'ein alav edim. There's no edim on it. So that's similar to what we're discussing now. Yesh olav edim ve'ein b'izman. Yesh b'izman ve'ein b'ela eid achad. So what our concern is the first one. He wrote the get, but there's no edim on the get. Ariel shleish getting psulim. All 3 are puzzle for various reasons. V'nisas avlad kasha. And if you get married, in fact, what the vlad would be kasha, meaning it's not a neshus ish, it's a kasha v'yasha get, and therefore she is divorced, and the children from the second marriage are not mamzerim. Rebbe Eliezer Omer, Afal Pi she'ein olav edim klal, ela shenas lo b'fnei edim kasha. Again, the guy from the chasim mishubadim, you would collect from the chasim mishubadim. Says Rebbe Eliezer, the fact that edim are witnessing the act itself, right, elevates it that what? That it's a full-fledged shtar, and you collect from the chasim mishubadim. Now, it's talking about a get. So we have to somehow go from get to what to shtar halva. So let's look at Rashbam, guys. Good. That's the reason. The govim nechasim mishubadim kloimar v'im shtar, says the Rashbam, v'im shtar milvahu oisay ashtar akosav b'ksav yadoi v'im by edim. That shtar that's written in his handwriting, there's no edim on it. Ella, and the key shemasru b'fnei edim Rebbe Elazar l'shitasai, that edim mimisira karti. Not Eidei Chasima, not the Eidim who sign, but rather the Eidim who witness it. So l'chayra, this is the exact same case over here in the Shaila. It's written in his handwriting. There are no Eidim, right? Eidim Mesira are watching this. You be collecting Mishubadim. So if it goes through Bezdin, then Bezdin's authenticating it. It shouldn't be any worse than Eidim watching it, and therefore l'chayra you should collect from the Chasim Mishubadim. Kasha on Rabbi Yochanan. V'hachim mefarish hasam. Rabbi Yochanan leave it to Rabbi Elazar Perek Hamevi shafilu b'shtar shtaros goyim the Chasim Mishubadim. Even shtar shtaros you collect from the Chasim Mishubadim be'edei mesira b'vad. Alma, what do you see? Hoitzi alav ksav yadoi. If you go ahead and take out the ksav yad, you can take out the something that was written in his handwriting. Shu chayiv loy umasroi b'fnei edim, and you give it in front of edim. You would collect from the Shabbatim, but Kolshkein hooks like Bezdin, and certainly in the Shaila it was Muxak al Yidei Bezdin, right? It's better than Eidei Mesira. That he in fact is the owner, is the loiva, is the Baal. So l'chayr it's a kasha on Rabbi Yochanan, right? And for the Gemara, Shiny Hasam the Mishas Ksivahu the Shabbat Nafshe. Over there, it's different. At the time it's written, he's Meshubed himself. Let's see Rashbam, guys. He explains it beautifully. When the shtar was written, Nichdev kidei lemaisrei b'fnei edim. The purpose of the shtar, the get or the halva, was that it should be given over in front of edim. Sheyu edem esira b'makam edei chasima. That the edim who witnessed the transaction should be in place of edim that are signed. Hilkach, therefore, keeping the Rebbe Laza edim esira karti, since he holds the edim esira affect the krisus of the cutting of the marriage. It's like they're signed in the shtar. Here the Lashon guys. Edim Mesira is kamo like it's signed in the shtar. So what do you have? You have a shtar that have Edim written in the shtar. Of course you collect from Mishubadim. That's exactly what they do. And Aval Anu mi boilan Ashailer is v'hoitzik sav yodei ba'alma. It's not a shtar. It's a piece of paper. It's a. I was saying the share Le'ilu Nishmas Ephraim ben Ezra. Ephraim ben Ezra. That's Kenny's father, whose yahrzeit is sometime this week. So we're saying the share Le'ilu Nishmas Ephraim ben Ezra, and he's sponsoring the kiddush Le'ilu Nishmas, the kiddush, the Siyum, not the wine. The wine is that's someone else is paying for. Eliezer. Okay. Anyway. So now, what's Ashayla? Anami boy shaloiva chasen by shazem maslay b'makam hayda shalayucha lachsa v'likva boy. The reason he signed it is that he shouldn't be kaifer, but it's not. It doesn't have the power of a shtar. So, guys, a beautiful teretz. Guys, what's the kasha? If you have an IOU written in your signature and you don't collect from the chasam mishubadim because there's no koil, it doesn't aid him, it doesn't have the koyach of a shtar, and as we said in the Mishnah, the only time you collect from the chasam mishubadim is a shtar, not a milval peh. So ksav yadai, we said in the Mishnah, is a milval peh. You collect what from? You collect from the chasam b'nei chayrim. Fred the Gemara kasha, can we elevate this? If Bezdin authenticates it, is it elevated? Right? Says Rabbi Yochanan, no, it's not. It still remains what it is, and it's not a shtar. Fred the Gemara, why do you need Edim signing on the shtar? If a person's you have Edim Mesira, you have a Ksav Yadai, you do collect Mishubadim. So L'chaira, in place of Edim, we have Bezdin authenticating this. So L'chaira, therefore you should collect. Says Rabbi Yochanan, no. Their authentication is authentication of a non-shtar, of a Ksav Yadai that guy can't go ahead and be kaifer that the loan didn't take place. But when this get was written by this person, it had the full-fledged. It's not lacking anything. It's a get with Edim. Where are the Edim? They're witnessing it. And it says the Rashbam beautifully, an Edim that witnessed it as if they signed it. And therefore, if they signed it's a shtar, then mainly you're going to collect from the Chasam Mishubadim. That's the difference between the two. We said, he had a case that was that instead of the Orev being written above in the shtar with Edim, it's after the shtar. It's written after the shtar. Says Rabbi Shmuel, you can collect from the Chasam b'nei chayrin. Says Rabbi Shmuel, you can collect from the Chasam b'nei chayrin. That's what he said. Good. Said Benanis, if you see somebody choking somebody in the street because he owes him money, and you go over and you say, I'll take care of it, right? You're going to tell me that guy is mishavin himself. He's not mishavin himself. He just wants to get veto, like we said yesterday. He wants to get veto off the guy's neck, right? So he doesn't really mean it. So if you have an Orev signed after the Edim, so obviously if he really wanted to go ahead and co-sign and guarantee this loan, he would have signed above the Edim. So that was the conversation between the two. And Rabbi Shmuel lauded Benanis, that what? There's nothing that makes you smarter than learning Hilchas Nezikin and Niskei Mamin, and therefore you do that, there's nothing better. Okay? Says the Gemara. Arava Yaitza, am I right? Yeah. Arava Yaitza la'achar chsim shtaris. Amarav koidem chisim shtaris goivim nechasa b'shubadim. If the Orev was above the line, then you collect from his nechasa b'shubadim. In other words, if he co-signed the loan and at the time of the loan he had property and he sold it to be a lien on his property, la'achar chisim shtaris goivim nechasa b'nei chayrin. That seems to be Rabbi Shmuel's din that you collect from Bnei Chayrin. Amarav says that was Rav. Amarav now. I feel koydem chisim shtaris in the gayvel mechasim Bnei Chayrin. Rav seems to go ahead and be contradicting himself. Initially, he said above the line you collect mishubadim, below and below the line b'nei chorin. Now he says above the line is also b'nei chorin. Kasha the Rav ad the Rav. Why in the first place do you collect from b'nei chorin if it's above the edim, and the second case you do not? If it's what, it's only b'nei chorin. Like Kasha, had the kosav bei ploini orev, had the kosav bei u ploini orev. If written in the star is what, I owe you X amount of money, ploni is an orev. So that doesn't state that he's guaranteeing a loan. It's mentioned ploni is an arev. U ploni arev. It's mashma that the loan is taking place. U ploni. So when does Rav say you collect from mishubadim? That's if it says with the vav. But if it just says without the vav, then you would collect, but only from bnei chayrin. Rabbi Yochanan Amar echad zeh v'echad zeh. Whether you write ploni or u ploni, ein a goy ve'elam nechasim bnei chayrin. Right. V'af agav b'kosav be'u ploni arev. So he disagrees with Rav. So Rav and Rabbi Yochanan are disagreeing about what? The vav above. According to Rav, above the line, above the edim with a vav, then what? You collect from bnei mishubadim. Rabbi Yochanan says you only collect from what? From bnei chayrin. The vav does nothing. Now we're going to question that. We're going to see that there's a case where the vav does something. Massive Rava on Rabbi Yochanan who says above the line you only collect from bnei chayrin. Edim achasumim al she'elish shalom beget. Now this seems to be a little odd. But the guy writes a get and he goes, and by the way, send the grease, shika grease to so and so. Say hello to Harry. I don't know. That's what it says. So in the get, it says Sheila Shalom. Puzzle. The get is puzzle. Chashin and Shem al Sheila Shalom chasmu. Perhaps when the Edom signed, they weren't signing on the get, they were signing on the Sheila Shalom. Sheiloi. If they just said she'iloi, puzzle. U she'iloi, but if you have a vav, then it's kasha. What do you see? Rabbi Yochanan makes the vav that the edim are signing on everything. Good. So if the vav creates that edim are signing in everything, why? If in the case of that we just had, where the arev signed above, and he said u ploini arev. Why do you collect from bnei chayrin? You should collect from mishubadim once the vav is there, because you see from over here by sheila shalom, the vav makes the edim on the whole get. So too over there, the vav uploni arev should make on the whole halva. And for the Gemara hachanami the cost of plenty arev. You're right. The vav taka does do the job, but it's speaking where there's no vav. Fred Gemara, if that's the case, so what's the case? Rabbi Yochanan's moida by a vav, you collect from mishubadim. Without the vav, you collect from bnei chayrin. So, but that's exactly what Rav said. But Rabbi Yochanan offered his information. Obviously, he must be arguing on Rav. The way you're learning now that with the vav he agrees to collect mishubadim, that's Rav's din. Pliny arev bnei chayrin. Pliny arev is mishubadim. And now you're telling me this sheila shalom is going on the whole thing. So Mela, the arev is guaranteeing the loan, and you're going to collect from everything. So Lechari is not arguing. And for the Gemara, you're right. Ihachi Fred Gemara Hainu de Rav. Rabbi Yochanan saying the exact same thing as Rav. Says Aim of Chinam Rabbi Yochanan. And so too what says Rabbi Yochanan. So says Rabbi Yochanan. Maisa ubal lifnei Rabbi Yishmael. There was a Maisa and it came in front of Rabbi Yishmael. What came in front of Rabbi Yishmael? A case where he was signed below, and again he lauded Red Nanis. He went to conversation. Okay. Amar Rabba Barav Chana Amrav Yochanan. Afal pi shekilis Rabbi Yishmael es benanis. Even though Rabbi Yochanan went ahead and he praised benanis, halacha k'moisei. The halacha is like Rabbi Yishmael that if it's signed below the line, you would collect from Nechayrin. Like benanis, you don't collect anything. The arev who's signed below the edim, you would collect. Iboyalahu, bichonik. But let's say, okay, so now taking the mushal of benanis, if you see someone choking somebody, you're going to tell me he's mishubin himself? Could you collect from Nechayrin? So that's the shaila. Why would Rabbi Shmuel hold over there? That's the Gemara shaila. Don't nod your head. So okay. Anyway, I'm Rabbi Shmuel Toshma. So chonik malit. Why would Rabbi Shmuel hold if you find the guy choking somebody? Would you and he guarantees the loan? Would you collect? Would you go ahead and collect from his Nechayrin? I'm Rabbi Shmuel Toshma. I'm Rabbi Yaakov. I'm Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Shmuel af b'chonik. He even argues by chonik. In other words, he disagrees with Ben Nanas. He said, even if he finds someone choking somebody and says, listen, let him go, I'll pay you, you have to pay. Halacha k'maisei and halacha k'maisei. Is the halacha like Rabbi Shmuel there or not? So there's two steps. One, what does he hold? And two, what's the halacha? And the answer is he does hold that what you could collect. And the halacha is Tashma, the Chiyasa Ravim, when he came up from Eretz Yisrael, Rabbi Yochanan, he said, name Rabbi Yochanan, Chalakar Rabbi Yishmael, Laf B'Chanuk. Rabbi Yishmael argues by Chanuk, and Ba'alacha K'maisi Ap B'Chanuk. So the halacha, in other words, the halacha is not like bananas at all. The halacha is not like bananas at all. Right? Rabbi Yochanan, not only in a case where the arev is signed below is the halacha like B'Shmael, even by a case of choking, if you find somebody choking somebody, and you say, listen, let him go and I'll pay you, you would be Meshubit vis-a-vis B'nei Chayrin. You could collect from B'nei Chayrin, but you cannot collect from Mishubadim, because again, there's no Edom. Rav Yehuda Meshmuel, Chanuk v'konam miyadai, says the following case. Rav Yehuda Meshmuel, a person is choking another person in the street, literally, the konam miyadai, and the arev makes the kinyan that he's going to pay. He makes the kinyan suda. Vito is breaking the guy's neck. He's shooting him. He threatens to shoot him in the kneecaps. Right? Comes along and says, "Don't do that. Don't do that. I'll pay you." So he goes, "You're going to pay? Okay." Takes out a handkerchief and he says, "Be kwaina," and makes the kinyan. Right? Makes the kinyan. Now, so he's mishabed. Now he's meshubed himself to pay. Michlal de orev ba'alma loy boy kinyan. It's mashma like Shmuel, a regular orev without a kinyan. It's not mishabed itself. Upligi de Rav Nachman, and the argues Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman on the days. Orev de Bezdin, an orev of Bezdin. That's an orev who signed up in front of Bezdin. Hudlay boy kinyan. He doesn't need a kinyan. Hoba alma, but normally boy kinyan you need a kinyan. The hilchas halacha is arev b'shas matan moyis lay boy kinyan. Acha matan moyis boy kinyan. If it's before the money is given, you don't need a kinyan. In other words, because the whole loan is being given based upon him. But once it's given already, and therefore it wasn't based. No, the guy shows up after the fact. So you lent him the money, and now he's guaranteeing payment. So the halva didn't take place based upon your guarantee. And that therefore you would need a kinyan to guarantee you're going to go ahead and pay up. Okay. Not no. But again, by Chaynik also, right? But yeah, this is talking about from Mishubadim, I think. I think this is talking about that you're going to collect from Mishubadim. That would be the difference, I think. Okay. Anyway. Achaman mice by kinyan. Or if the Bezdin lay by kinyan, or if the Bezdin never needs a kinyan, the hano the mehimna lay goma mishabed lay. The hano that Bezdin makes him a believable person, he's goma mishabed lay. So I thought before we make the Siyum to speak out two things. There's a Gemara. There's a Gemara in Baba Kama. I thought I was going to get a Baba Kama. If you can get me a Baba Kama real quick, if you get me a Baba Kama really quickly. And we're going to share. Okay, says the Gemara in Baba Kama. This goes to. I go to Baba Kama because to stress that the Babas are one Masechta, guys. Kula Chad Masechtahi. Baba Kama, Baba Metzia, Baba Basra. The first gate, the middle gate, and the final gate. So we go back to Baba Basra, and this spoke to me. It says, if a person wants to be, Rav Yehuda, if right before the Mishnah, Rav Yehuda, Hayman de boy l'mahabe chasida. If you want to be a chassid, l'kayim mili din ezikin. You should go ahead and keep the mili din ezikin. You should keep mili din ezikin. You should keep mili din ezikin. That should keep the inyan dine mamanis. Rava Ama mili de avis. Rava says the mili de avis, whatever that means, could mean a lot of things. We'll see what it means in a second. So three things. You have the zikin, avos, and brachas, and that would make you into a chassid. Says the Marsha. Man de boil mahabi chasida l'kayim milid in the zikin. This is what I sent out. Hesh. Yira ki chassid nemar al misha oisa maisav al tzara yoisa toiv. What's a chassid? Someone who does things to the optimum, the best way. K'maymorim b'perakama d'avodah zara, the milus hatoiv asara devarim. In the milus into ascending in goodness, there are 10 steps. Sehiris meviles rizis, like this is all based on the Mesilas Yesharim. The chashiv l'mayla el yoina. What's the mayla yoina? Chasidus. Why? Because chasidus mevili de ruach hakodesh. So in other words, to be a chassid is a tremendous mayla. It elevates you. In other words, a chassid has to be perfect in his ways, in his actions. There are three ways. Gimel chalakim, the hainu toiv l'shemayim. You got to be perfect when it comes to Hashem. The toiv l'brius, and perfect when it comes to people. The toiv l'atzmai, and for yourself. So this is, in order to ascend to the level of chassidus, one has to do their best vis-a-vis the Bnei Shloim, vis-a-vis people, and vis-a-vis what? Himself. So come Rabbi Yehuda is addressing those three components. Man the boy have a person who wants to be a chassid, l'kayim mili din azikin. He should go ahead what? And fulfill the mili din azikin. The oz yachal atakin maisav. And there he's able to go ahead and go ahead. I mean, mitakin is maisav, shiyeh toiv lebrius. In other words, if you're careful in your monetary matters, be it in halva, be it in torts, in nazikin, and when you're faleslich with money, people, that's relationships. We know when you're not faleslich with money, you can't possibly have a relationship with people. We know the effect that has on people when people are not straight with money. When you find the guy who's straight with money, automatically, this guy, you say this guy's a good guy, he does the job. He does the job. A guy gets into a fender bender. He gets out and says, it's my fault, rather than it's your fault. Right away. It makes a difference. It makes a difference when a person that's toiv lebrius. When it comes to monetary matters, a person is faleslich. Next, the Rabbi Amar the l'kayim mili the avis. You should be like the avis. The oz yitakin maisav shei toiv la'atzmai b'midos. Right? That you like when you go ahead, a person is like the mili the avis. It could be perki avis. It could be the avis Avram Yitzchak and Yaakov, because then you're going to perfect yourself for yourself. So monetary matters is toiv lebrius. For yourself is avos. Is avos. Right? Right? Then if you metakin mili de brachas, then it's tov shemayim. Kol anenim ba'olam hazeh b'li bracha. Right? You're stealing from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? The bracha goes ahead, meaning a bracha is a connection that everything comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you're blessing Hashem for giving it to you. Nimsa says the Marsha beautifully. In other words, they're not disagreeing, fellas. Each one is addressing a different component of Chasidus. Each one is addressing a different component of what a person is supposed to be like. So when it comes to bein adam lechaveiroi, it's mili din azikin. When it comes to bein adam leatzmoi, then we're speaking about mili de avis. When it comes to bein adam b'shamayim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's mili de brachas, and each one is going ahead and addressing everything. In May of 2023, we had a Siyum Hashas. We had a Siyum Hashas, and anyone who was zoichet to be there felt something unique. There was a special camaraderie and feeling that was really, really special. And this is I sit here in front of Rabbi Avi and Dr. Press, two excellent writers. And I just wrote down this thought. I have a book at home called The Fat Book. And I write down a different thought. And this is the thought that I wrote down at the time. Right? I thought, this is the thought that I had at the fourth Siyum Hashas in Piscataway, May 2023, Chav Tes Iyar Tavshin Pei Gimel. How is it possible for everyone to feel so bonded to each other? Over 100 people coming together as one. By nature, people are different. And as a result, I can't relate to him or feel the bond with that individual. How's that possible? But that's a natural physical emotion limitation. Torah is l'mayla min hateva. Torah takes us above our physical. It allows us to see the chains that shackle us and free ourselves from ourselves. That's only because b'shas matan Torah we were all ish echad b'leiv echad. Since one time in history, we all came together as one. And what brought us together as one? It was Torah. That's why when one goes ahead and has a Siyum for Torah, there's no friendship like a friendship of Torah. There's no bond like a bond of Torah. Sitting night by night, Zoom by Zoom, recording by recording, right? As you go through Shas together, there's nothing like this feeling of Torah that brings you together. We're all different people. We all do different things, right? And we all, well, some people don't do too much,
Some people never did.
But those people get paid very well, and we're jealous of them. Now, but the bottom line is, I think, what did Hashem do by Matan Torah, by putting it all together? It wasn't just for that moment, fellas. It was for forever. It instilled in us that, you know what Torah can do? Torah can bring us all together. So I thought it appropriate that at a Siyum to share that thought with you, that as you feel in Masechta Baba Basra, really, really, really something that is very special. Give everyone a bracha that you should Masechta Sanhedrin, you should commit to Torah. You know the problem with the shir? It's given at night. The shir will be in the morning. You get up, you got every day. You don't have excuses. At night there's a bigger excuse. Conversely, since you have a bigger excuse, you get bigger schar. Because for every night that you say, "Oh, my wife is this, and this is this, or it's raining," or the litany excuses. The only people who don't give it are two people besides me. Shout out to Heshi and to Benji, who Baruch Hashem, and Rabbi Abi. And Yehuda. Okay, maybe we just expanded it to 4. Okay, and the 4. But we're stopping there. Anyway, so, and Dr. Press. But again, I think that I thank everybody. Again, this feeling of being here and being part of this, that Lenny calls community, the Daf community, what we call the Chevra, is special, and I don't take it for granted. Hajj Lecha gets Pashit for Silam Besechta Baba Basra. Hajj Lecha get Pashit for Silam Besechta Baba Basra. Hajj Lecha get Pashit for the Silam Besechta Baba Basra. Hajj Lecha Besechta Baba Basra. Hajj Lecha Daita Chalan Besechta Baba Basra. Daita Chalan. Like this same Menach Besechta Baba Basra. Like this same Menach Lo Momin the Asi. Hajj Lecha Besechta Baba Basra. Hajj Lecha Daita Chalan Besechta Baba Basra. Daita Chalan. Like this same Menach Besechta Baba Basra. Like this same Menach Lo Momin the Asi. Hajj Lecha Besechta Baba Basra. Hajj Lecha Daita Chalan Besechta Baba Basra. Daita Chalan. Like this same Menach Besechta Baba Basra. Like this same Menach Lo Momin the Asi. Yusuf Fenecha Adnei Lahenu. Be'er Shenu Shei Torah Yisrael Merseinu B'Olam Hazeh. U'Seimanu Olam Haba. Chanina Bar Papa. Rami Bar Papa. Nachman Bar Papa. Achlei Bar Papa. Abba Mori Bar Papa, Rafma Papa, Rachish Bar Papa, Sucha Bar Papa, Ada Bar Papa, Doru Bar Papa. Harav no Adonai Eloheinu V'Stirei Rascha B'Finu V'Yasam Chab Yisrael. V'Niyah Kula Nachlu V'Tzatzenu V'Tzayam Chab Yisrael Kolen Nishmecha V'Lentin Sach Mayavi Techameni Mitzlach Kilam Levi. Libi Tamim B'Chukech Lam Alei Yavosh Loilam Le'Eshkaf Kudach Kivam Kisani Baruch Ator Adonai Lein Chukecha Amen 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 Salav Ed. Adam Nachlu V'Necha Adonai Eloheinu V'Lei Vasenu. Shesam Techenu Me'Yeshu V'Yisabedish Shesam Techenu Me'Yeshu Korna Shana Mashkim Me'Y Mashkim Ana Mashkim V'Lei Torah V'Y Mashkim L'Bar Teilum Ono Emelim Eim Amelim All men Kam Sacha V'Ein Kam Lein Kam Sacha Ana Vatzim Ratzi Ana Vatzim Chay Olam Haba V'Ein Vatzim L'Ver Shachas Shenema V'Atam Elohim Taridem L'Ver Shachas Anshe Nom Mir Malach Tzum Me'Hem V'Ni Aftach Bach. Here's something else. I'm not like Hashem Shasani the same except as Baba Basra came to saying the Haskam Sechus is from Macherim with the Simon Lilmo Lalame Lishma Lasso Kayim as called the Islam Sech Be'ava with Schus called Tanoim Amaroim Tamid Chacham and Yamul Lil Zarish like Yamish Torah BP or P Zari Adolam. This kind be Salcha Tanchascha the Shachva Tishra Lecha like Kisasi Sichecha Kivi Yebu Echiv Yasif Lashchayim Arif Yam B'Yamino B'Shmalu Asu Chabad and they always name retain at Noi Varech as Amoy Vashal Line. Gedel Diskadation Mirabah, Yamadu Asad Skarato Lachayom Messiah Sakyo Chayama, or they Katalu Shalem Shakla Chalaba Bigabe, or Merka Pulchan and Chro Mearo, Sabah Pulchan and Shmai Lasre, the Amach Kushabichum, Bamaxavi Kare, Kayhan, we're going to have a basis of Baglos and Crib and more name. She made a bug around the alarm, the Omeo Maya, Sparaki, Shabaki, Spravi, Slamis, Nasevi, Sadavi, Salash, make a trouble. The Elam Kobachas Shirasa, Pasnachamasa, and Romain. I saw up another Tamidam, a call Tamidam, Samidam, a common dance Bryce, the Dibas Right Dame, the Kolasavasar. Yehu Chol Shabam Rav, Achim Bechizrach, and Henry, and Zan Revi Chayu, for Kanam Kanam Bush Mayova, Robin Norman. Ish on Shamay Chaim Shalem Kos Robin Norman. I should show the Rema Bu Yas Shalem Rakli, so well the Norman. Master.
Do you want to see one last Hanukkah? Let me show you.
Okay, Dr. Press.
Tonight is Chai Kislev.
Yeah.